5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gymkata opener. Here we go.
Hello, and welcome to the worst movie ever made, an experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind to find the worst movie ever made. I'm just Chris Hackman. I'm joined by my co-host, development science, Trav Scooty, and Bob Pasek. Hey guys, how are you? And why are we doing Gymkata?
I'm just gonna come in hot right now and just say I don't want to be here. I don't want to talk about this movie.
All right.
I didn't get a chance to watch it until you sent me the timestamps with the clips, and I was rendering them down. I'm like, I have to fucking watch this, and I watched it last night. And I'm mad. I'm very mad. It's like it was also really entertaining, but I'm mad because I could have nothing in my life changed for better or for worse. I'm just in this void of disappointment, and I'm gonna carry that with me for a couple weeks. Bob, how are you?
I was given this movie as a something to watch when I was a teenager back in the 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
And my brother and his friends were like, "Oh, you got to watch Gymkata. It's hilarious." I'm like, "Why is it hilarious?" And I watched it and I'm like, "It's just bad."
It's a riff tracks thing. Yeah.
But it's famously hilarious. It is famously hilarious. So, here we go.
All right, let's get the explanation. Here we go.
Bob, what are you doing over there? Explain yourself. While you're at it, explain the movie.
All right.
All right, here we go. Get your J and G keys ready. Here we go. Johnny the gymnast joins a jiu-jitsu journey just to jab a Jezebel.
How do you spell Jezebel?
I don't know, but it feels a little racist.
Got it. I got it.
It is
For some reason.
It is not. That is my first. That is my first J rhyme, and probably my last. That was a hard one. Okay. So, a skilled gymnast named Jonathan is recruited by the SIA, which is just that's so funny. To play the game in Parmistan, where
Parmistan.
Where if you survive, you get one wish.
Yes.
And they want him to wish to install a satellite monitoring station for Reagan's Star Wars program. And He agrees without hesitation, immediately.
Mm-hmm. It's the Cold War. The Cold War fever, dude. It is ridiculous.
85. He agrees without hesitation, begins training, is constantly fighting off ninjas, tries to get with this princess, gets cock-blocked by a guy named Zamir, wins the game, finds his father, Rob.
Yeah.
My father.
What? Oh, my father!
There you go. and his Star Wars wish is granted.
So I realized that was my thing now.
Sorry.
I'll remember now. Okay.
That's sick. Well, thank you for that synopsis. So there you go. That's that movie in a nutshell. The best YouTube comment.
Sure. This YouTube comment makes me wanna. Oh, it makes me wanna. Oh my god, it makes me wanna. What's the big deal? I'm a figure skater, but when I'm not on the rink practicing my art, I'm in the darkness of the city taking out bad guys with the finesse of a figure skater. No big deal. We all do that. And when things make it to MST3K and riff tracks level, the comments, I mean, you expect them to be it's not just mentally ill people trying to explain why something they liked when they were 6 years old is still good even though it isn't. So that was the best. That one made me laugh the most, so I just picked that one.
It was funny.
Yeah.
All right, test number 1. Ain't that a pitch?
And you're going first, Chris.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth!
My job sucks.
Well, I'm sold. That's a pitch. Yeah. This movie is perfect worst movie fodder. The Running Man, but Pakistan. People get slaughtered. This Johnny is lame, but he wins the game and gets to Bangladesh Mel Brooks' daughter.
Nice.
Go ahead, Bob.
Brooks. All right. We'll make a karate movie the same year as the Goonies. It'll be about an obstacle course set in the boonies. Follow the flag-flying fellas to the finish. Doubt it will draw dividends, but don't diminish the fact that you'll be scared shitless by the town of loonies.
Right.
Wow. That was some fancy word dancing.
Graceful gymnast becomes karate man, plays a deadly game in Parmistan, surrounded by men who want to kill him for sport. But hey, look, he's got a pommel horse. Thank God he has all this oddly specific equipment on hand.
That's so true. I mean, that's true to our opener.
Yeah.
I think he was on the pommel horse in the opener, right?
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Rob then. Rob 4.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Okay.
I'll go. I liked the Kazakhstan Mel Brooks daughter thing, so I'm gonna go Chris. But I don't want to give you the ad, so I'll give you a 4-2.
All right, I'll give me a 5. So
right. 4.5.
What's that? A Chris 4?
Yeah.
Yes, another win
I'll
for
give...
Chris. God, this season has been so good to me.
Uh-huh.
Wow, this is wonderful.
Almost as if it was by design. Yes.
I think I'll give me is definitely not grammar proper, but that's fine. You keep going.
That's okay. It's a movie podcast, not an English tutorial. You know, test number 2 is the most offensive.
A day without sex, the day wasted, man.
The most offensive.
Number.
Sorry, I had to write down something funny you said. Okay, number.
Oh, okay.
Let's go, Bob 5.
5.
Mullet-O-Mania. There's a bunch of really good ones. Yeah. There's a bunch of really good ones. They don't age well. But then again, do they? That's why I'm offended, because they're back in. Or at least they were like a couple weeks ago.
It's the fucking broccoli cut mullet, though.
Yeah, that's true. There is the broccoli cut mullet. Yeah. But I mean, you know, you gotta like reinvent.
Yeah.
I don't know though. I've seen some like Stranger Things Billy with the like cross dangly earring
That's true.
mullets too, though.
Miley Cyrus made the chick mullet popular, and then what's the other fucking guy? I don't know. It's a bunch of like skinny white dudes named Bryce that have like the Soul Glow haircut though.
So glow, let your taboo. Yeah. All right, number
4.
Pitchforking poor people and poorly placed pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt really bad for these big old hogs that that get the pitchfork when people are just trying to escape through the pig pen.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like they deserved it. We didn't get to see it. Not that I wanted to. Poor pigs. But we heard it. We heard the squealing. Yeah. And then these cannibals who have like a whole hut full of pigs for some reason. I guess immediately have to like cook that pig, you know?
Yeah.
I would. Get every sinewy bit out of that animal. You know?
Yes.
All right, first clip of the day. This is number
3.
Yeah, I just realized how strange that was. Continue talking about dismembering the animal. Okay, this is Yankee.
You are American. Yeah. Yankee.
Don't bother, Joe. You might start a big riot.
So much for caterwaul nightlife.
Well, there's just a little anti-American sentiment running around. But I think...
I just love that. Like, some guy, some Parmistanian comes over, punches him in the face, and then they go to one of his bodyguards, and he's like, I don't know. I think really we can bridge the divide. If they just like somebody just like shoots him in the chest with an arrow in the middle of the market for no reason.
I don't know how I'm going to write it up in the write-up, but I just want dirt to be one of the, one of the things we mentioned.
Get out your bingo cards. That was a South Park reference. All right, number 2. Wow, now that I'm looking at this and I've had a long day, I don't think that's a word.
Do it.
All right. Let's say aerobic back alley attack on an innocent Arabian anybody. And so there's just a guy on his bike, and he's like following the villains, not knowing they're villains, running through an alleyway. And our hero Johnny does one more twirl on the pole that was
the conveniently placed high bar in the alley.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. He does one more full circle and then smashes this guy right in the nose.
The funniest part of that is what he says afterwards. You remember that?
No.
After he knocks out the cyclist, he says, "You okay? You okay? You'll be fine."
Oh, okay. Are we supposed, because he's like that good, like he assessed the guy's injuries and then realized he was fine and ran away without further medical assistance?
I just think it's funny. Like, he's like, "Yeah, you'll be okay, even though you're not going to be okay."
Yeah.
It's like when you accidentally hurt your friend's kid and you like don't know how much you hurt them, and you're like, "The kid, he's fine. He's okay. He's okay, right?"
Cartilage. Okay. They're all cartilage until they're like 5.
Hey, say you're okay, kid, before I give you another one. Say you're okay. You're fine, exactly. Right? All right, number 1. Not that I've ever done that to other parents. That might double date with me and my wife. Number 1 is Caucasian con and consult.
Yeah, this whole thing's a Caucasian con, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I think so. It is whitewash, as they say in the biz. Yeah.
Yes.
It
is.
The con is like definitely like just a Jewish guy.
Yeah.
And his consult, I'm pretty sure, was in Malibu Express. Was one of the bad guys. I think he might have also been in Roadhouse. I'm just kidding, but like,
it's the same like archetype.
Totally
Yeah, same-ish.
Jack tan white guy who is the leader of the army of Parmistan.
Yeah.
I love that name.
Parm.
This makes me want cheese.
Yeah, me too. Probably have the best. All right, let's throw it to Rob's hand read.
Oh boy.
Payoffs and greed were always the priority of my company. Like many companies, I'm afraid of going to prison. They now know my crimes.
Speaking of greed, here's Rob's ad read.
Today's episode of The Worst Movie Ever Made is brought to you by Blarf Bobble's Beebly Boopers. Got a Beebly that needs booping? Blarf Bobble's got you covered. What's a boop? Blarf if I know, but there's certainly Beebly. Beep, beep, boop, boop. Oh no, what do I do? Blarf Bobble to the rescue. Whoosh, pow. Oh man, that was close. Thanks, Blarf Bobbles, for fulfilling all of our Beebly booping needs. I'm sorry.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know they must have just signed on, huh?
Yeah.
Normally, Rob, when we get a new sponsor, Rob will give us some forewarning so that we're ready to talk about the new company that's signed on with us. But thank you, Rob. Follow me here and let me know if I've got this right. Blarf Bobbles Bleebly Boopers.
Close enough. I already deleted it from my script, so I can't even consult it.
Blarf Bobbles Bleebly Boopers.
Boopers. Yeah.
Bleebly Bloopers. Bleebly Boopers.
I've had a long week. That was the best I can come up with.
Test number 3. This is the worst of dialogue. God, you can't do this to me, man.
Yo, I'm out of here. Where you going? cross the street to sling a schlong.
As much as I love it, it's still some of the worst dialogue. This is the worst dialogue.
Number 5. This is cleanup.
They were waiting for me.
Oh,
The place was on alert.
these people have spies everywhere. Lots of ears to the ground.
What the hell is this, Stork?
What did you forget?
None of this stuff has been done. Nothing's been packed.
I don't think we'll be able to make it in time.
What's the story, Mackle? Oh,
This is a real shame, Cabot.
I always said that Special Intelligence should have handled this whole operation. Double black. Well, that cleans up things here. You leave in the morning.
I just thought it'd be really funny if that guy came out of the bushes every time this Johnny guy had a problem.
Yeah.
You know, somebody's aiming a bow and arrow at him, and then this guy just comes out of the bush. He's like, but yeah, he's like, what did you forget, Stork? And then the guy's like, oh, no, why isn't all the shit packed up? And then Stork says, what did you forget? He's like just a white guy trying to like roll his tongue because he thinks that's what Middle Eastern people do. And it just comes off really awkward and bad. All right, number 4.
I almost hit 3, but it's actually 4. Here we go.
This is one request.
Direct military action is out of style, my friend. Finesse. But there is one chance for one man. Anyone who enters Parmistan must play the game. If he wins, he's allowed his life and one request.
And if he loses? Look, how do we know somebody else hasn't already gone in there and won the game?
No outsider has won the game in over 900 years. What we do know is that other countries are training their athletes right now. A lot of people want that one request. There's someone I want you to meet. You know your father was hampered by a lack of knowledge about the game. Fortunately, we have a break.
All right. Let's get into catch-all territory here. This is why I clipped this.
Okay.
Why is Parmistan the only country that can fulfill one wish?
A
lot of countries want that one wish. Why can't America just do the thing? What is it that Parmistan can do that America can't?
Maybe it's like, like when a lot of wars, like in ancient times, were like over like access to a river because of their trade routes. Maybe Parmistan's like one of those like they're in like the satellite sweet spot where it's the only location.
They've got the bridge over the River Kwai.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that. I'm with Rob on that one. Yeah, go.
Yeah.
Nah, that's kind of lame, guys.
We're giving it too much credit, but that's the only thing I can think of that's like why it would make sense.
Yeah, they've got the one bridge in the world that can. Yeah, that
it's
makes
the
it so
only
they can
reason
grant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. They've just got the best cheese in the world, and everybody wants one.
They got the wedge. Yeah.
Parmistan.
All right, let's go with number 3. This is welcome.
You. Commander Zamir, advisor to the Khan. He has sent me here to welcome you to our country.
I already had that. When do I meet the Khan?
Tomorrow. The Khan will be presiding over an explanation of the game. Afterwards, a banquet. The next day, you will play.
That's what I'm here for.
If there is anything I can do for you, please ask.
There is one thing. The Princess Rubali. Where is she?
With her father, of course. And, as I said, welcome.
Thanks.
And as I said, welcome.
Do you think it's the same Khan of Kubla fame who has a pleasure dome? That could be referenced on our Xanadu episode at www.theworstmovieevermade.com.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah,
Xanadu. I don't think that's how it went. Yeah. All right, let's keep blowing through this. Let's go to number. All right, I promise these are funnier now. This is Secret Garden.
This is the princess's room. Don't be afraid. Tell the princess to meet me in the garden.
Why would you ever think that's gonna work? He's got the fucking dagger up against the tongueless maid's back. He's holding her hostage. He's bringing her through the hallways, threatening to kill her, right? Yeah. And then he's like, "Is this the princess's room?" He's like, "Okay, don't be afraid. Take this dagger I was just threatening your life with. Go in there and tell the princess to meet me in the garden." And then she's like, "Secret garden." She's like, hold on. Look at the Britney Spears episode of South Park.
So hot.
Oh my God, look at her. Oh, look at her. Yeah, that just didn't make any sense to me. Okay, number
1, Daddy. This is the best clip. You know what? Fuck it.
This is so cheap. It just hardly qualifies as dialogue. This is meh.
What was that little tinker toe?
Yeah. Okay, podcast listeners, I challenge you to go to our YouTube page. I challenge you to not watch me and just watch the clips on this fucking YouTube episode because you will have 2 laughs. I promise you at least 2 for that one. Yeah. It starts with this guy who's like, there's like they put some like weird echo effect on his voice, and I was like, gotta clip this. It's probably gonna be an abuser. But then like 8 seconds later, there's just some old guy or like some weird like old lady. I can't tell. You know when they blend, when they're like 70 and really pudgy.
Once you hit like your 70s, you become androgynous, I think.
Right? Yeah.
Is that the word?
Yeah, androgynous. Yeah, perfect. But there's some androgynous figure on a balcony somewhere going, "Ma, ma." Just like, I was like, you know what? We're making this number 1 worst dialogue because it's. So check out our YouTube if you want to see that, and you can find that at our website. And I won't make Rob do it.
www.theworstmovieevermade.com.
Test number 4. This is the worst production.
My job sucks.
Yeah, so does your production, you skank.
All right, worst production tagline is "One Trick Pony." So I'll explain. So first of all, the director, you might not know anything about this movie, but here we go. The director of this movie also made Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee.
Oh.
And they can't all be zingers.
I know. So obviously he has chops. He knows what he's doing. However, the budget for this was way low. So he had to rely on the acrobatic skills of the leading man. He basically asked the gymnast, "What can you do that looks good on film?" And they just shot those things over and over again, incorporating them into the fight scenes, escape scenes, the training montage. And even when he was just talking to the princess, when he did this flip spin thing, when he was talking to himself, the princess,
that did look cool. That was cool.
Yeah,
that was.
And due to the low budget, there was very few retakes. So they basically like did a take and said, "Okay, we're keeping it." So his one trick was to use the leading actor's gymnastic skills to make the movie look better, and it was cool at times. I'm not gonna lie, but not enough to like move. Not enough to like move the movie forward.
In my mind, the choreography wasn't half bad for like a low budget martial arts film, but everything else around it was terrible.
Yeah,
Rob, I'm with you. Like 70%. Maybe 60.
Yeah.
Look like convincingly cool combat.
Yeah.
But like the other 30-40% look like he did not have enough velocity to hurt anyone, you know? So it didn't really translate for me. But, you know, yeah.
And there was no story.
Also that.
Well, yeah, there really wasn't. Yeah. It was The Quest, which is Kickboxer, which is Bloodsport.
Yes.
Which is Gymkata, which came before them all.
Wow, look at that.
True that.
Jean-Claude, what an indictment. Have we done Bloodsport yet?
No, we have not.
You asked
right?
You asked that every karate movie.
It's because we've done like 4 or 5 other movies that are identical to Bloodsport, starring the same person who starred in Bloodsport.
I don't know. Maybe we do it as a good movie episode, but it's not. It's not bad. It's the Limbo episode. It's the Limbo episode. It's got to be like the 11th episode of a season or something, you know?
Yeah.
Like the bonus episode.
Yeah. All right.
They have some like bonus, like 1 hour.
Like Con Air. Is it good or is it bad?
It's great. It's the best movie ever. Sorry, one of the best actors of all time.
Con Air is amazing. Yeah, my mom gave me a lighter with Nicolas Cage, and he's doing the breeze, you know, with the long hair.
Yeah.
Con Air.
Yeah.
Where he's like, Anyway, we're trying to make this short, right? Test number 5. This is worst acting.
Worst acting. Here we go. Where did it go? There we go.
He killed himself. He killed himself.
You can keep saying the words, but your acting's not getting any better. This is the worst acting.
This is, if you know what I mean, number 1. A log.
Yeah.
Good morning, Princess.
Good morning, Jonathan. You're looking handsome as always.
Did you sleep well?
Like a log.
There's something else here.
Don't trust anybody, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta take a chance.
Those were the times you gave me, for the record. Yes.
Okay, my fault. He got the girl. Let's watch them make out. You know.
Well, she pulls a little like switchblade out, and he's like, "Ooh!" After like
then she goes,
trying to woo her with his flips and his racist impersonation of what I would assume is like his idea of a Persian or Parmistan woman.
Yeah, Parmistani princess.
Parmistani.
Parmistani princess. Everyone knows that is the move you do. You do a flip trick. You do Misty flip, Misty flip, Misty flip. If you want to bang Bangladesh the Parmistani princess, that is the move to do. I think he comes off kind of like, and I feel like we were just talking about somebody being a super tryhard recently, and I don't know. It wasn't Theodore Rex, but it was recent. Probably Steven Seagal. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't pull it together. I feel like it was an episode before that even. But somebody being a super tryhard, and I feel like, doing your shirtless Misty flips.
Yeah, I remember because I said live free or try hard, or like try hard with a vengeance, but I can't remember what episode it was. So if you want to go to www.theworstmovieevermade.com and find that for us, well, we'll be glad to
and let us know. Yeah.
Not look for it ourselves if you email us. Thank you.
Yeah, do our research work for us.
Yeah.
And you'll become an unpaid intern. And then when we, progress past the many thousands of listeners we have now, we'll start paying you.
Yeah.
Okay, how about number 2? This is Fortress.
They grabbed Ribali.
I know. I heard. Come in. Come in.
They killed the 2 agents.
It's obvious that Zamir knows every move we're making. Hundreds of miles away, and he still reaches us.
Not for long, because I'll kill him. Where's Ribali?
In the walled city of Carabao, but you will never get her out.
Where is she?
Tamerlane has her at the fortified mansion of his.
Where is that?
It's all in your briefing package.
I'm getting her out.
Forget it. That's a terrorist training camp. Tamerlane is Amir's man. You're going into Parmistan alone.
Just be ready for 2 of us, Colonel.
My. How flat was that?
I feel like they asked every actor except for the gymnast, can you do any accent other than American? And they just that's what they threw in.
Oh my God, that is so spot on. That's like in Chernobyl, the HBO series, when they're like, we need to be Russian, so do a British accent.
Yeah.
Like
Could
Americans don't know. They don't care. Like, as long as you don't sound like Americans.
Could you imagine, like, you need to do a Parmistan accent, and then someone was just like, oh, real pretty.
No. Jesus. You want some of my shitty Parmesan?
Once again, we challenge our YouTube audience to watch Rob put his fingers in the corner of his eyeballs for that last clip.
Christ. Oh my God! Well, there's nothing more.
Oh, you need access to a Saturday. One of the perks of freelancing is I can't get fired, so that's good.
True. Yeah, good point. I can. Number.
My bad.
3. This is Prisoner.
The guards are still in the stairway.
Protection.
Father, why don't you believe me? You saw what Samir did. He doesn't want anyone to win. He doesn't care if they all kill one another. It's all the same to him.
I have always trusted him.
You're a prisoner in your own palace.
Not true. Why are you saying such things?
I am not seeing another therapist.
He has built his own army. His, not yours.
For security reasons, yes.
And loyal to him, not to you. Father, look at them. Faces hidden from you.
Well,
The American is our only chance. I will help him in any way I can.
Ribali, you must not do this.
Why did he use one that? And then doesn't finish the thought.
Well, that
He doesn't.
forgot his line. They had the takes.
Yeah.
Was it a low budget?
Yeah.
I'm guessing. Not true. It sounded like Spaceballs for a minute.
Yeah, it did.
It
sounded like fateful findings. I am not seeing another therapist. No,
there are no other therapists. There are no other women in my life. There's no other woman or therapist. There you go. Bob, we're throwing it back to you. This is fact or no fact.
Yes.
Where am I? Where's the Princess Ribali? What's going on?
You'll get no answer. She has no tongue.
Oh, by the way, are you seeing another therapist now?
Speak of the devil.
No. There is no one else.
Are you sure about that?
I am not seeing any other therapists.
Sounds like Bob Foolery.
There are no other therapists.
Fact. Or no fact.
All right.
All right.
All right. Shoot, I lost what I called this. It wasn't Gymkata. It was something else, and I forget. And now I didn't write it down because I just... Anyway. Fact or no
Rim
fact is I'm
Jabba.
going to read you... Yeah, that's good. Rim Jabba. That's perfect.
Rim Jabba.
I'm going to read you 5 things. 4 of them are real. 1 of them is a lie. And you have to figure out what the lie is. And I have an honorable mention because I couldn't fact check it. And I'll mention that at the end. Here we go. First of all, first one. The town of crazies were actually crazy people from a local insane asylum in Yugoslavia. Obviously, yeah, the former Yugoslavia. Second, Richard Norton, that was Zamir, was also the film's stunt coordinator and choreographer. Okay, Jonathan Cabot, that's the lead character. That red, white, and blue sweater that he wore actually belonged to the actor Kurt Thomas, who was the guy who played Jonathan Cabot.
Okay.
Kurt Thomas, that's the gymnast, did a nearly nude spread for Playgirl magazine. Okay, and the last one, Kurt Thomas, that's the gymnast, did all but one of his own stunts.
Okay. It was the 80s. It was a little more cowboy back then, but I find it really hard to believe that if this was like a union effort, it may not have been union because it was shot in Yugoslavia, and like the rules don't, the same like SAG rules don't apply. It's highly unethical, I think, to exploit mentally ill people for your movie film about a gymnast karate man.
Leave that to Jiggly.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't put it past because it was like the 80s were different. Like there weren't like intimacy coordinators or like people making sure you don't exploit mentally handicapped people for your film. So I want to circle back to that. Richard Norton was this film stunt coordinator. I mean, I don't know shit about any of the people in this movie, so maybe the lead. This was catch-all territory for me, but I don't know enough about Kurt Thomas's life, but I know he was like an Olympian and he like won other awards outside of the Olympics. And throughout the whole time I watched this movie, I was thinking to myself, if you're trying to be inconspicuous and like go under the radar, why are you wearing a bright red fucking sweater? Unless it was like part of his brand outside of the movie, where people are like, oh, he's the guy who wears the red sweater, you know? Like I'm pulling that out of my ass. that's all red. That's already over there, you know? So like, I couldn't think of any other logical reason why. So like that is, in my mind, that kind of makes sense. Nearly nude spread for Playgirl magazine. Is that allowed if you're like an Olympian to like do like porn adjacent things? I know, like, well, like, you can't be on like a Wheaties box and also like on a centerfold, can you?
I don't know. The Olympics is 5 rings. You know, that's sexual.
I don't think you get paid very well as an Olympian back in the 80s. I don't think you really get paid anything.
I don't think you get paid anything
That's
now.
true.
You just get endorsement deals, and then you get
you get paid. You get paid.
All right. And then
China pays more than America.
Yeah.
You should see what China pays for a gold medal. When you win, I think in America you win $300,000 if you take a gold medal. In China they make like what's equivalent to like $3 million. Or
so you devote your entire life and have no other transferable skills outside of the one specific sport, and you get like what, like 3 years, 4 years salary out of it if you have like a family in a high cost of living area. Awesome.
Right, and hopefully you do it every 4 years.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how they keep you. That's how they keep you competing. That's how they get the talent pool ripe. He did all but one of his own stunts. That's believable. I'm gonna say number one's a lie. I think exploiting mentally handicapped people for your martial arts movies probably. That's the one thing I think. I want to believe it's not true, so I'm gonna say that's a lie.
Okay, I believe that Kurt did all but one of his stunts. I don't know which though. I'm trying to think.
But which one didn't he do?
Yeah, which did he do? Kurt Thomas nude spread, the nude spread. Richard Norton stunt guys, I believe. Number 3, Cabot sweater, Kurt Thomas. Thomas Newton's Brad, Richard Norton's not guy, Kurt all but one of his sons. I'm tempted to double down on number 1, but I'll go with number 3.
I don't know. Old Red. I think Old Red wanted people to see those colors. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's find out.
Here we go. So, the town of crazies were actually crazy people from a local insane asylum. Kurt Thomas actually said in an interview. I got most of this from the interview with Kurt Thomas, like from the mid 2000s. He actually passed away, sadly. He said, "We provided them with alcohol and a buffet for their time." Except
that's the best weekend of their lives.
The people that Thomas kicked were stuntmen. So when he was beating up the people in the town, the people he kicked were stuntmen.
So he wasn't just wailing on fucking.
Right.
No. They're like totally insane. You're allowed.
Right. Okay. Richard Norton was also the film's stunt coordinator and choreographer. And here's the fucking kicker. On top of the director doing Enter the Dragon, this guy also did the fight choreography for the last 2 Mad Max movies.
All right.
No shit.
Like, the people in this movie have some serious cred, you know?
That makes sense. Because that was like 30 years after the fact. Or 80, 99.
Fury Road.
That was like 30 years to like hone his skill after this pile of shit. So that makes sense.
He's done a ton of movies.
Right.
And he also was the actor that played the guy. Anyway, I read a comment that said, "I dare you not to stare at his chest." Okay. Anyway, Jonathan Cabot's red sweater did belong to Kurt Thomas. Matter of fact, Kurt Thomas like wore that sweater, and the director was like, "Hey, we gotta put that in the movie." Like, no shit. Like, the director
you're gonna be known for this forever. This is your thing now.
Badass.
You're the red sweater.
You're gonna be that guy that wears the red sweater. Everyone's gonna know you for that.
So Kurt Thomas did not pose nearly nude, but Techi Abagani, that was the lead female.
Princess Urbali.
She was a former Playboy model.
Good for her.
I believe it. She was pretty smoky.
I think this is one of the few times she was on film and clothed.
All right.
At least in America.
In your research,
I think she was Philippine.
In your research, did you find any of the films that she's in where she isn't clothed, Bob? And if you do, can you tell me the titles right now?
I think they were all non-English speaking films. She was, I think she was in the Philippines, which is hilarious because her dad was such a white Jew.
It came out right after this one called Rim Jabba.
Okay. I'm thinking, like, if it's not in English, I could throw on some parlor jazz and treat it like a silent movie. And I liked it. I liked the Ring Jabba, but I was going to try to get my joke off too, bud.
All right, fine.
Just look up her name. Look up her name, and you'll find it.
Will do. Awesome. Thank you.
Kurt Thomas did do all of his stunts except for one. I forget which one it was, but he didn't do one of them.
Okay.
And here's the honorable mention. I couldn't fact check this, but I found it on IMDb. And they said, for authenticity, ninja actors participated in a 6-week flag-holding boot camp.
Wow.
That's hilarious because that's all the ninjas do. They hold those fucking flags during the race.
Okay.
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, that can't be real. So I tried to fact check and I couldn't find it. I'm like, I'm not gonna say that's a fact because I can't fact check it.
Well, I hope it is.
So we lost and Bob won. Is that the gist of it?
Yeah.
Finally, Chris always wins anymore.
Yeah.
I know. I always win every fucking episode, and
I
didn't. All right, let's throw it to the Chris all. I mean,
I can't believe you committed suicide. I cannot believe you committed suicide.
Are you catching all of this?
How could you have done this?
I'm just gonna get mine out of the way. The only thing I wrote down was red sweaters aren't inconspicuous, but we already covered that. So.
No, it's so true. My number 5. You'd think there wouldn't be so many cannibals.
Yeah, I mean, it's Parmistan though. You know what they say about those parms out there. You know.
Just saying, like,
you know what they say about those cheesebacks.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, an entire town of cannibals seems like a kind of an oxymoron to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll run out of a food supply eventually if you don't have tourism.
Right. I mean,
Right.
they have pigs and shit, but like that's not cannibalism. So, like, are they only cannibals when they're forced to be, or do they prefer human meat? In which case, there shouldn't be like 400 of them.
Maybe they use pigs to feed their human subjects so they could fatten them up, and then they eat the people that are fattened up by the pig meat.
So it's more like a Walking Dead, like the paradise that they've been searching for 4 seasons, and then they get there, and it's like they're all cannibals, just like directing you there. Yeah. Nah.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Bob.
I have so many. I'm trying to narrow it down. I'm gonna say the training was bonkers, like his karate training, and like what was up with the giant bird on the trainer's arm, and then
that was really weird.
That weird blindfolded sickle solo thing. Like it was just really.
I mean, it was
like
cool.
All random. It was very random.
The director was going around asking everyone, like, "Hey, you got anything that would look cool on film?"
Yeah, I think you're right.
What about a montage
Probably.
of climbing stairs while handstanding?
Yes, yeah. I think I can do it. Maybe we'll work our way up.
Yeah.
My number 4. I'll help the American in any way that I can in this skin-tight black spandex. And then she does nothing.
She did enough for me. Yeah.
Sounds like Robson sniffing distance.
Yeah, I'm sniffing distance, my friend.
But yeah, she literally does nothing to help him. Like I thought she was gonna. At least she like disrobes and gets into this like black spandex outfit, and then I thought she was gonna like run into the farmland of Parmistan and actually do something.
Yeah,
but she doesn't do anything.
The farmland of Parmistan. All right, so I thought like they had so many gunshot wounds in this like so but like that and like burst of they call it squibs, little explosions of blood in there, so it looks like they got shot. They didn't have any. Everyone who got shot in this movie got shot, but it was no blood.
Yeah, that is true.
Except that like occasionally, I want to say there was a couple knives or arrows that had blood as a result, but like no blood with. And also when the people fell from the rope bridge
Favorite part of the
onto
movie.
rocks.
Oh my god. Oh my god! I gave Rob optional abuser. I think that was one of those, maybe.
Oh, that's coming right
Is that
up.
true?
Don't worry. Yeah. Yeah. Here, let's just do it real quick. That's under Gymkata. It's Abuser 2. I titled it.
There's that sound, that Wile E. Coyote, the dry ground sound.
Yeah.
This shit is amazing. Okay, so back to me.
Yeah.
I wrote, "Dude is whooping dudes easy as Whoopi do" in Theodore Rex. One of the comments we made about Theodore Rex is that Whoopi beats dudes up and knocks them unconscious way too easy. And I said the same about this one. He like just does like a shoulder tackle and they're just gone. He does.
Yeah.
There's one part. You remember when they meet in the secret garden and then Princess Urbali runs away and he does like some like gymnast flip and doesn't touch them really, and then they both like knocked out, but one of them's like, I think I'm good, but like I really want to chase after them.
Yeah.
The guy like
in the alley.
like, he like
he
kind of
backs
gathers
against the
him.
wall,
Yeah.
And he kind of like stands back up.
Yeah, like he like gathers himself and he's like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
I just thought that was great. All right, go ahead, Bob.
So during the prisoner game, remember like the first time they witnessed the
Yes,
game?
yeah,
Like,
the first 3 prisoners, yeah.
A horse knocked a guy over during that scene.
I saw that.
It seemed very unplanned, but they kept it in. And I wonder if it was scripted or that was an accident they just happened to keep in. It It made me laugh. I nearly spit out my drink that I was drinking when I watched that.
Yeah. Probably. It worked, though, because wasn't it the bad guy? I forget his name. Like, wasn't it his dudes on horses that knocked them over or something?
Probably.
I think so.
Yeah, so I think it like kind of almost worked for the story because it should piss the citizens off that they did that without,
It looked real accidental, though.
It definitely did, but it might have almost worked in their favor, but it looked like it wasn't meant to be. My number 2, Yakmala. Flaming ropes, cut ropes, river rapid transport, but no arrows. And by that I mean just shoot the fucking guy. He keeps they're chasing him. He's climbing up a fucking rope. They decide to light the rope on fire, Home Alone style, from the bottom, like the thing was soaked in kerosene, instead of just shooting him with an arrow. They're like right behind him. He's climbing a rope bridge. Instead of shooting him with an arrow like they do everybody else, they let him get basically to the other side, and then they chop the rope to like hope that he falls to his death. Instead of doing all this, if you want him dead, just shoot him with a fucking arrow like you do everybody else, and then we can get that nice abuser number 2 that sounds like this. And now Johnny's dead. All right, go ahead, Bob.
There was a scene where they kept shooting side-eye looks to each other back and forth between like 4 characters. They kept like looking and looking and looking and looking, and then there was some weird like remember those things called psi weapons like the Ninja Turtles had. It was like a 3-prong. There was like some kind of weapon twirling exhibition. Yeah, there was some kind of twirling exhibition that happened after all the side-eye staring. That was just hilarious. Like that whole scene made no sense. I think that had everything to do with what looks good on film, and they did it.
Yep. Yeah, couldn't agree more. My number 1 is my number 1.
Daddy.
Why do the citizens of Parmistan care at all about the game if they can't watch it?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like Death Race 2000.
Yeah.
Was that the name of the movie that we did?
Yep.
Where like they can't see most of the Death Race.
2000.
2000? Yeah. So it's like why they're all celebrating. They can't wait for the games to start. Everybody's like applauding and everything, and then they don't follow them out into the field or anything. They just like, all right, we'll see who wins in 3 days. With none of the action. So that just really bothered me.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Bob.
I have a few more, but I'm just going to go with the one that's most illogical. The guy is gripping some kind of pipe and cuts his hand off.
Yeah.
And the hand is still gripping the pipe after he cuts off the muscles that would be using
the circulation.
The circulation and the actual muscle grip. Because the hand grips are definitely from
if
the
you're
forearm,
not pumping new blood into those muscles, they wouldn't be able to hold the grip.
So the hand would not still be sticking onto the pipe. That just wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
But also gross. It's also gross the dog was lapping up blood off the ground. That was just gross.
Oh, yeah, that was fucking
that's true. That was weird for them to do. Hopefully it was just like Jell-O that they didn't form or something.
Corn syrup or something, yeah.
Probably, I'm just saying it was gross. It was just unnecessary, but it also went into the whole thing about that town being actually freaking weird. Like I was frightened.
Actual crazy people. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I will be next time I don't watch it because I never will. Let's throw it to the bad credit names.
You have any more, Bob? Or is that it?
No, that's it.
All right, 1 second. I got more abuse here. We said credit names. Here we go.
Vladimir Spindler, Terry Glass, Kechi Agbayani, and Lamberto Marini.
Oh, one was just like
That's
Asian and one was like Italian.
Very Italian.
Yeah.
Just very Italian.
Lamberto Marini. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one too. I don't know, Mr. Spindler maybe should have been the winner.
I like
all right, offensive mini game. I'm very excited for this one.
Are we what we're watching?
I do have that, but I wrote it after the offensive mini game. I don't know.
All right, let's do the mini game first.
We can do either one.
Mini. I already have my mouse hovering over it. It's too late to go back.
Sometimes movies are just so offensive.
There are no other therapists
that could help me get over it. This is the offensive minigame.
Okay, I've got Double Down versus Gymkata. This is Oopsie's Anthrax or Pitchfork Pork.
I think the Anthrax.
Yeah, I agree. Anthrax.
Yeah. Oopsie's Anthrax. Okay.
Yeah, pigs are food. I mean, it's bound to happen. You know.
Yeah. Okay, how about Sandy Skeleton Sleep Sack or Back Alley Biker Beating?
Well, so back out. So, I mean, like, so there was a lot of stakes. So there had to have been a fight, which is like if you're a product of your environment, the fight's inevitable. Whereas, like, Neil Breen is just like lugging around his girlfriend's bones,
right? I don't
for
know.
the heck of it. I think that's worse.
Like, you know the term "final resting place."
Yeah.
Like he kind of throws that out the window, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Almost literally. Yes, I agree. I agree with Rob.
Yeah. So what are we going with? I'm sorry.
The wife
down.
sat, whatever it was. Yeah, double down.
The Sandy Skeleton Sleep Sack.
Sandy Skeleton Sleep Sack. Yes.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna flip it like we normally do, but let's go with double downs. Side scrote.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Bollywood whitewash.
Oh, Bollywood whitewash.
Bollywood whitewash.
Wow. Okay.
No, because like
I stole Bob's side scrote from last episode.
Yeah, but it's appropriation before that term was like popularized. You know, it's just not cool.
I was happy with Bollywood whitewash too. So we'll take that. Hopefully we
don't worry.
It.
Side scrote will rear its ugly head again because it's gonna win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Buffington butt water, porn water, side scrote,
Buffington
all these. these are all things I'm sure we'll see on t-shirts at some point. All right, let's throw it to what we're watching.
Sure.
I'm kind of curious what the guys are watching other than videos about
government secrets.
This is what we're watching.
Chris?
Should I go or?
Yeah.
Rob, you're gonna love this.
Okay.
I hate to say it, but I've been watching Bar Rescue again.
I fucking love John Taffer's irrational.
It's
It's actually not. It's not even irrational. He's like justifiably.
No,
angry,
it is rational, but like his reaction, my God, it's like
I'm gonna
should
do an
be a 6,
impersonation
but
of
it's
it.
a
When-
14. Yeah,
When they're looking at the iPads in the car and they find the raccoon poop in the restaurant and he runs across the parking lot.
He runs in. It's that raccoon shit. Shut it down. It's fucking amazing. Bob wouldn't know because he's never watched a reality show before.
Bar Rescue is worth it, Bob.
I've never seen Bar Rescue.
It's
Basically,
amazing.
he goes into like disrepaired restaurants and he's very mean.
Yeah, like he tries to like break the person down by being like big and loud and intimidating, and then like reform their psyche around like how to run a business, and it like doesn't even work because if you look up like restaurants that he's and bars that he's rescued, and this goes for most of these reality shows, like half of them are it's like a coin flip whether or not it's going to work. So they were all doomed to fail. Maybe he's actually doing something because like half of them succeed and then half of them don't. I don't know. But it's just really funny to listen to him.
You ever see that meme where it's like Bar Rescue in a nutshell? And the guy's like, "Can you help me save my business?" And the next phrase is like, "That's why your wife left you." It's like screaming.
Dude, I literally just watched that. That episode where the guy, like, he literally just said to this guy DJ or whatever, he was like, "No wonder your wife left you."
Yeah.
It was like, Jesus Christ. Like, that's a little personal. But number 2 for me, and this is one I'm putting on the poll sometime soon. We don't need to do that for this week because we already did, and we know who the winner is. And I will announce that coming shortly. But for now, let me tell you, I cannot wait to get on the poll, Ready to Rumble. The
so familiar sounding.
1990s WCW promoted David Arquette feature-length film that is absolutely fucking atrocious. I know you guys will absolutely hate this fucking movie.
This was at the height of his this was at the height of his CALLATT commercials, right? Like around that time.
Yeah, right around
Dial down the center.
When everybody heard he was fucking Monica, and they were like, "Well, he must be cool," even though we all know he isn't. He must really be cool. I don't get it, but like, let's give him movie deals.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's the star in Ready to Rumble, and he is a huge wrestling fan who's also like really raunchy humor. Like, they have like a he and his
The
buddy
Diamond
have, like,
Upside Down is a pussy or whatever. Isn't that the movie?
Yeah, I don't even. I just watched it like 2 weeks ago, and I don't remember shit about it. Other than the shit that I remember about it is that he's like a septic tank cleaning dude with his friend, and they're huge wrestling fans, and they like fast food, and they eat fast food with like poop on their hands, and then they become wrestlers themselves, and it's a success story. The worst thing about it is that, have you ever seen Lake Placid
with the crocodile?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or alligator? Yeah.
Have you?
Yes.
Dr. Doolittle with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
You know the
Not in a
like
long time.
the tall dude that's in both, that has like, he just has like a super wide face and like a pompadour haircut. That guy, I don't know the actor's name. He's in both of them though. But he's like the rich guy in Lake Placid, and he is like another doctor in Dr. Doolittle. He's in Ready to Rumble, and he is a wrestler.
Okay.
Oh.
But he wears like pajamas when he wrestles because he's not in good shape. I just don't understand what they were thinking. It's the worst idea for a movie. It was just like a shameless WCW promotion. They get WCW wrestlers who are terrible at acting to act in the movie way more than they should. David Arquette is just corny. So is his friend who is in Enemy of the State. And I don't know, Flatliners or something. You've seen him before. It's like Gary Busey's son's friend. Jake Busey's like friend.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm ranting about how bad it is. We need to watch it for the podcast some week. Would you guys just like be like, yeah, let's just watch Ready to Rumble, because it deserves to be on this podcast. I need to make fun of it with you guys.
I'm okay with that.
All right, go ahead, Bob.
Yeah. So I'm going back to what I watched over Christmas break. Something semi recent, and then something very new. So Licorice Pizza was 2021. Paul Thomas Anderson wrote and directed. It's the story of a child actor, teenage boy who's in love with a young adult female, which is kind of gross. Though it's a very good story. It was set in the 70s. They go into business together, like a waterbed company, and they grow together through different challenges, and ultimately end up together just as he's becoming an adult. And the performances are just rock solid. Not like, I didn't watch it and think, oh, that was a great movie, but I watched it. I'm like, well, I'm glad I watched it. Like, that was that kind of movie. Like, I'm glad I watched it, but I wouldn't say go out and watch it. Now, there is one I would say go out and watch. This came out just last year. It's called Juror Number 2.
Okay.
Okay.
It came out in 2024. Clint Eastwood directed this. It's a story of a man picked for jury duty, and afraid that once he hears the case, that he may be involved in the death of the girl rather than the defendant. It's a fucking great narrative, hardly any flaws. It's a must-watch.
All right.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
Juror Number 2. That one is a must-watch. You gotta watch it.
Okay.
That's it.
Juror Number 2.
All right.
Got it.
So, I heard the announcement that they're doing like a 4-episode reboot special of Malcolm in the Middle on Disney Plus on some undisclosed date later this year. So
No
Stacey
shit.
and I have been watching Malcolm in the Middle from the beginning, and it holds up tremendously well. It's a fucking hilarious series.
It's a good show. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
I
here's the
never
thing. I haven't.
watched it.
One thing, I have not watched Malcolm in the Middle since its run ended in 2006. But like I'm able to, it held up so well that I'm like quoting the lines ahead of time, like from memory.
Yeah.
Having not seen it in like 20 years, and there's lots of times I'm IMDbing while watching. Like, what do I know that person from? And like the only thing that's notable that they're from is Malcolm in the Middle. It's like it's enough time has passed where it's like it's like I know them from the thing that I'm currently watching and nothing else. So like, it's good. It's Bryan Cranston is I'd say Hal Wilkerson is a more iconic character than Walter White. 1,000%. It's just
iconic, but maybe in your mind.
I mean, it's such a complex character. Like you need to watch it.
Let me say this. I feel like they've had Frankie Muniz in the chamber for like 3 years, and they were like, Frankie just kept asking like, when are we doing this reboot? And they were like, let's let Walter cool off.
Yeah.
Let's let Bryan Cranston cool off.
Nah, Frankie
as soon as he's ready.
Yeah.
Then we'll do it.
Frankie Muniz only acts like very selectively because he's in the Formula One racing and like drumming and shit. And
yeah, because he couldn't get any more jobs.
No, he basically retired. He retired. He bought a bunch of parking lots in L.A., like $5 pay parking lots, and then he ran them for like 10 years and sold them for like $1 billion. So he's just kicking it.
He became a full-grown adult who didn't look like one and couldn't get acting jobs.
He's got a huge fucking head. Yeah. Okay. And then the second thing I watched is watch Back in the Middle. It's great. The Mousetrap. So on January 1st, 2024, Steamboat Willie, that version of Mickey Mouse became public domain.
Yeah.
And immediately these two people made a slasher using Mickey Mouse's likeness. And it's fucking bonkers stupid, but it's you go into it going like, within the first 5 minutes, the way it's framed, like, you know, everybody's going to die, so you don't get attached to anybody. And like they do all the beats like, oh, these people have sex, they're going to die. This person said, I'll be right back, he's going to die. And it's a fun, self-aware slasher using Mickey Mouse as the antagonist. So I strongly recommend it.
But the Steamboat Willie version.
Yes. And like there's a 2-minute long disclaimer, like absolving them of any likeness or infringement.
This is not Mickey Mouse. This is Steamboat Willie.
This is the Steamboat Willie version of Mickey Mouse, and not any other version of Mickey Mouse that's still under copyright.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So it's really stupid, but if you have like 80 minutes to kill, it's on Tubi. Check it out.
Oh man,
that's it.
I wish I did.
I might.
All right, let's go to the movie comparison.
Yeah.
I resign today as president of the bank.
Inconvenient truth.
None of this makes sense. Let's just compare the movies. All right.
Double Down versus Gymkata. Double Down had a team. Excuse me, a team 4.66 star.
And you had a 4.5 this time. So.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? Like, is it more of an achievement to get 4.5 if you're on your own, or is it do you want to give it team because
it's one of those? If it was a tie for the same score, the team would dominate because it had the extra. But it wins anyways. You don't win, Chris. It's Double Down wins.
When you vote for yourself to skew the score.
When you throw Jurassic Park into the Keystone apparatus to make the Rotten Tomatoes, remember that? www.
Yes,
the worst movie ever made.com.
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you got to try. How about offensive? What's more offensive, Gymkata or Double Down?
Gymkata.
Wait, we already know.
Oh, we already know.
It's Double Down.
From
Got
the test.
2 to 3.
Yeah.
We had the Sandy Skeleton Sleep Sack and Oopsies Anthrax.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about
Bollywood whitewash. No. Okay. How about dialogue? What was worse? I think it's Double Down.
Double Down is worse.
Yeah, probably Double Down.
Production. Is it continuity or one trick pony?
This
is actually tough.
I almost want to say one trick pony.
Yeah.
Because at least Double Down tried something. You know, it was low budget.
Yeah.
It was a passion project. He was like, I'm doing this how I want to, and you have to believe that the end result was what he wanted. So I guess
Double Down was almost artful, where Gymkata was just repetitive. It was just like ninja with a flag and running, and ninja with a flag and running.
Yeah.
Arrows. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Acting.
Flip spins.
Cool flip spins.
Double Down has worse acting. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. All right, demerits. What were you giving Gymkata for a demerit?
Conveniently placed pommel horse and high bar. Like, he can't do these stunts unless he has his gymnast stuff with him. You know?
Convenient Olympic equipment.
According to his interview, they actually tried that Town of Crazies scene without the pommel. Like, they just had like some kind of thing, and apparently his wrists were killing him, like trying to do all the tricks. So they actually put the pommel horse. Yeah.
How about the pummel?
Pummel. I like it.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Sorry, Chris, to delay your wonderful rhyme.
Oh well, thank you. Pummel or ballsack tuna.
Ballsack tuna.
Okay, I think we all agree. So a 5-1 victory for Double Down next week. Bob, why don't you tell us what we're watching next week?
Yeah, we got an email, right, Bob?
Shit, yeah. I forget the name of the movie. It was called like Willy something. Wally.
Here, let me read the email. I got it right.
Yeah, please do.
Willy.
Yeah. This is from your brother Schmave. Bob and I discussed some movie ideas and have narrowed it down to Willy/Millie 1986. I remember that I saw it as an HBO or something back in the day, but little else. So that's what we're going off of. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Schmave.
You remember it being on HBO once?
I watched the trailer, and it looks like it's gonna hit our offensive. It's gonna win the offensive. Let's just say that.
Okay.
All
right.
It didn't age well. Yeah, it didn't age well. And it looks like I'm not gonna like it. But I gotta find it, of course.
Yeah.
I gotta find it and download it because I've never seen it. When I watched the trailer, it had no memory sparks hit me. So yeah.
Okay.
I'm guessing Willy-Millie because of Willy-Nilly.
Yeah,
it's
probably
Willy-Millie, right?
Sounds about right.
But my brother Dave is going to join us on the pod.
Okay.
Theoretically, and me and him are going to split my bits. So I'll give him some of my things, and we'll split it up a little bit.
Yeah, if we want to open up the floor, I could always like drop an ad read or something, or like do something so there's more room for conversation.
Yeah,
you know?
whatever you want.
Yeah,
whatever you want.
Yeah, we'll see.
Cool. Yeah.
Make Schmave host.
Yes. Let's do it.
Just kidding. All right, Rob, why don't you plug us, and then we'll throw it to Bob for his last word.
Sure. You can find us at www.theworstmovieevermade.com. We are on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts. If you have the RSS feed, you can use any podcast app and get The Worst Movie Ever Made. We are on YouTube, which is kind of a redundancy now that we have the video on Spotify, but some people don't use Spotify, so we had the video option on YouTube. New episodes go up every, super late on Tuesday or on Wednesday. We're recording on Wednesday today, so, sorry guys. We have busy lives, and, shit happens. So it'll be up on Wednesday, and then the YouTube version goes up on Sundays. We are on Instagram, and until the 18th, God willing, we are on TikTok.
I know.
I don't know what's going to happen with that. I'm not much of a TikToker. I doom scroll on there sometimes, but aside from that, not much else.
If you are a TikToker, follow us everywhere else. If
it's all the same shit in a different location. So just find us.
All right,
www.
Rob, now we need to clip this 1-minute video of us saying, if you are a TikToker, find us elsewhere so we can put it on TikTok before the collapse of TikTok.
I'll look for it tonight after I upload. Yeah. We are at hour 14. I'll find it. I got the in my head.
Oh, Parmistan.
Okay, and then I have a last word too. After this episode, whoever's listening, you all lost the game like 100 times. See you next week. This YouTube comment makes me wanna remember the game. Oh, it makes me wanna. Oh my god, it makes me wanna.
A day without sex, it's a day wasted, man.
The most offensive.
My job sucks.
Yeah, so does your production, you skank.
I can't believe you committed suicide. I cannot believe you committed suicide.
Are you catching all of this?
How could you have done this?
I resign today as president of the bank.
It ain't convenient truth.
None of this makes sense. Let's just compare the movies. All right, see you guys next week
Bye, Jelly
with
School.
Millie, Willie, Villy, Benilly, or whatever. Bye-bye.